No, he saw the Mr. Clean commercial and he was inspired.
Good evening. I'll call this meeting to order. It's the regular council meeting of February 13, 2017. It's at 7:30 p.m. Can I have a roll call?
Mayor Pro Tem Bliss.
Here.
Councilman Clark.
Here.
Councilman Corbett.
Here.
Councilman Gettings.
Here.
Councilwoman Scott. Councilman Soltis.
Here.
And Mayor Hartwell.
Thanks. I'm here. Can I please have a motion to excuse Councilwoman Scott? If anyone's interested, Councilwoman Scott had hip surgery, and she's in great spirits. She's feeling well, but she needs some time off. She wishes she was here with all her friends and enemies. Not that she has any enemies, but could I please have a motion to excuse Councilwoman Scott from tonight?
I'm sorry.
Mr. Gettings.
So moved.
Is there support?
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Corbett?
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. She's excused. Thank you. Will you please rise if you're able for an invocation to be given by Councilman Soltis and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Good evening. This is a time more than ever we stand together, united as one human race, of all different cultures, race, ethnicities, celebrating our diversity, where we don't look for the fault of others. Instead, we acknowledge for our collective humanity. Our design is to help one another the best we can, never forgetting our humanness, never forgetting our empathy, nor forgetting we are all tied together in our courage to do what's right in our hearts. Amen.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Welcome tonight. Welcome to Madison Heights. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? Okay, hearing none. We have two presentations. The first is the oath of office for Police Reserve Officer David Reedy. Mr. Myers?
Yes, Your Honor. Chief Haynes is here.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, esteemed council members. Mr. David Reedy is a returning reserve officer who started his reserve officer career with the city of Madison Heights in 1996. Mr. Reedy had to leave, unfortunately, in 2014 due to the demands of full-time employment. Mr. Reedy has been married to his wife April for approximately 7 years, and they have an 11-year-old daughter together. Mr. Reedy has worked as an IT project manager for the last 12 years, and that position demanded long hours, traveling, and working most weekends away from his family. This had a tremendous impact on the time that he had, and it led him to having to take time away from volunteering as a police reserve officer. Mr. Reedy has recently taken a new position with his employer, which now allows him more time with his family and more time to return to the police department reserve unit, which he had thoroughly enjoyed for almost 18 years. We're excited to have Mr. Reedy back on our reserve officer team, and he will be a great asset to our reserve unit. It is with pride that I ask Mr. Reedy to retake the oath of office for Reserve Police Officer for the City of Madison Heights.
Thank you. Officer Reedy, would you come up here for the oath?
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, David Reedy,
I, David Reedy,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
to support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and the Charter of the City of Madison
and
Heights,
the Charter of the City of Madison Heights.
that I will endeavor to secure and maintain
I would endeavor
to secure and maintain
secure and maintain
an honest and efficient administration
honest, efficient administration
of the affairs of the City of Madison
of
Heights,
the affairs of the City of Madison Heights,
free from partisan control,
free from partisan control,
and that I will faithfully fulfill
faithfully fulfill
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Police Reserve Officer
of Police Reserve Officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So,
So help me God.
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like my wedding vows.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you. Welcome back, officer. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you, Officer Reedy. We have another presentation tonight, a condolence resolution. Mr. Myers?
Yes, Your Honor. This is a condolence resolution. Whereas the Madison Heights Mayor and City Council were saddened to learn of the passing of Jane Jasinski on December 23, 2016. And whereas Jane had two loving brothers, Ken and Stephen, who shared many moments of joy and happiness with her throughout the years. And whereas Jane was raised in Madison Heights and was a Madison High School graduate. And whereas, in addition to Jane being a well-liked part-time quilting instructor for the City of Madison Heights since 2009, she also taught crochet, scrapbooking, and needlepoint, and had a successful 25-year career as a travel agent. And whereas Jane volunteered for the Capuchin Soup Kitchen, and her caring nature will be remembered by all those who knew her. Now therefore be it resolved that the Madison Heights Mayor and City Council, on behalf of our residents, do hereby extend our community's sincere condolences to the family of Jane Jasinski and hope that the good and cheerfulness that she shared in her lifetime will comfort and console them. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be presented to the family as a token of our heartfelt sympathy and a lasting tribute of love and respect. And Ken and Stephen are here.
Would a member of the family like to accept this? Sorry. Thanks for coming.
Sorry for your loss. Very sorry for your loss.
Would you like to speak about Jane? I know I don't want to put you on the spot.
Aside from what was in the resolution, it is the basic tenet of how my sister lived her life. She liked to help. She worked with the public as a travel agent. She very much enjoyed teaching quilting, sewing, anything that she could like that. And it was really one of the joys of her life. And in addition to making the cookies for the girls when she did it. So thank you all for your time, Don.
Thank you, sir. Good night. First order of business is public hearing A1, which is special approval 1609 regarding karaoke entertainment in a proposed lounge/restaurant. Mr. Myers will have a report, and then we'll go to a public hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor. Special approval is required for entertainment at restaurants in the B3 zoning district. This location is currently being remodeled as a restaurant with private rooms as well as general seating. As part of the remodeling, the applicant is now seeking approval for karaoke entertainment in the private rooms as well as the general seating area. A separate entertainment agreement will be required if special approval is granted by City Council. Parking meets the minimum requirements of the zoning ordinance, and the proposed hours of operation are Monday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. The Site Plan Review Committee has reviewed the site plan and has no additional comments to address. Should City Council grant special approval, the following conditions are recommended. Special approval is limited to karaoke entertainment only, and no regulated uses as defined in Section 10.502A are permitted at any time.
Thank you. Does that complete the staff report?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Sherman?
I think one more condition should be added, and that is the separate entertainment agreement be entered into with the applicant and the city.
Mr. Mayor, how would that be worded in a motion? I'm sorry.
You can just list the, Mr. Corbett, you can just list the conditions in your motion, which would be special approval would be limited to karaoke entertainment only, no regulated uses as defined by the Code of Ordinances, and a separate entertainment agreement be entered into with the applicant.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else from staff before the public hearing?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Thank you. I open the public hearing on this issue alone. Does anyone from the public or the applicant, would they like to speak? It's not required, but public hearing on this issue, special approval 1609. Okay, seeing no takers, public hearing's closed. What's the wish of City Council?
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Corbett.
I would move council approve the granting of the grant the special approval at 32415 John R. Relative to the karaoke entertainment at the proposed restaurant. I believe it's existing anyway. and I would incorporate 3 special conditions or 3 reservations. 1, special approval is limited to karaoke entertainment only. Number 2, no regulated uses as defined in section 10502A be permitted at any time. And 3, that a separate entertainment agreement be entered into between the city and the petitioner.
Thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor,
Mr. Bliss?
I support.
Discussion on this subject? I do want to acknowledge relatives of the applicant are in the room, right? Okay. Ricky Dong from 168 Asian Mart and Fuji Buffet. This is an extension of their world. In your mind, think of where the CC's Pizza used to be by 168 Asian Mart, up by Whitcomb and John R. They're repurposing CC's Pizza for private use, meeting spaces, boardroom, executive-type meetings, and part of their idea is to have entertainment, and karaoke is a pretty fun thing to do. But that triggers special approval from City Council. So welcome to City Hall. Any other discussion? All right, the motion made by Councilman Corbett, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Bliss, is to grant special approval for 32415 John R. related to the karaoke agreement in the proposed lounge and restaurant with the following 3 conditions. That special approval is limited to karaoke entertainment only. Second, that no regulated uses as defined under the city code are permitted at any time. And 3, that a separate entertainment agreement be entered into between the applicant and the city. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Reports on agenda of interest to parties in the audience. Okay, we'll go meeting open to the public. Meeting open to the public on any subject. Good evening, ma'am.
Hello, my name's Gloria Moore. I live at 27368 Dartmouth. Friends of the Madison Heights Area Senior Citizens is going to have another third Tuesday meeting, and that will be on Friday the 21st at 7 p.m. at Wilkinson. And Randy Speck assures me that the school will be, the man with the key will be there. And anyway, coffee and snacks will be available, and everybody is welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Meeting's open to the public.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm here wearing 2 hats, Kerry McGilvery, 926 Tanglewood, and the County Commissioner. I'm here wearing 2 hats tonight because I have a couple plaques to give out. These are for the teams that some folks here have sponsored, and this is a plaque with a picture of their team. First one is Councilman Clark. And the second, I'm sorry. Chairman.
Thank you very much.
And I do apologize for those being late. The company that normally does our plaques kind of went out of business or something, or they couldn't do them, so last minute we're scurrying around trying to find somebody else to do it. Second reason I'm here is I brought along some flyers from Oakland County Parks. It's about positions that will be open, particularly for Madison Heights folks at the Red Oaks Waypool Park, as well as parks helpers. So I'll pass these on to Ben, and we can put them out for, it's good for kids starting at 16 years of age and older. That's the bad part is it's always rushed. These have to be in by February 20th, which is next week. So if you know of anybody at all who might be interested in working for the county parks, have them take care of it right away.
Thank you, sir. We'll take that information now or later. Thanks, Gary. Meeting still open to the public on any subject?
Good evening, everybody. I'm Paul Sanders. I live at 26433 Rialto Street here in Madison Heights. Valentine's Day is coming up tomorrow. You all put up with me year after year. Figure sooner or later I got to do something that's just good for everybody here. I came to pay my water bill because you got to pay your water bill. I like paying a water bill. We got good water. Except it's not so much for me. You people all work here. You drive up here. The street right off of 13 Mile and Brush. It's in horrible shape. Well, it really is. The problem is, it goes right around the corner by the fire department. And the road's not a whole lot better down there. But you can't block it off completely because the fire department's got to get through, and the police department, and you people sometimes got to get through, and we've got the public library. What I'd like to bring up, and maybe we could do sooner than later, is fix this road out here because it's crumbling. It's bad on people's tires, and people might not want to go to the library to learn things or to come here at City Hall because it's hard to get here. And since we're not paying for I-75, so we have a little bit more money, maybe, could we start planning on rebuilding this road right out here to make it better for everybody and make it a nicer little thought about having for Valentine's Day? Because Mark's got his red tie on, people, so if you would, please think about maybe the road's right here. It's right for the people of the city and Madison Heights. You've been really good at keeping costs down for everything. Maybe this wouldn't be such a bad idea to start getting on that road. And I know you're not going to jump up and do it tonight, but if you just all start thinking about it for the city. That's all. Y'all have a great holiday.
Thank you, Mr. Sanders.
Thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day. Would anyone else like to address City Council? Meeting's open to the public. Okay, we'll close that. Next on the agenda are communications. We have two. C1, CareNet. Mr. Myers?
Yes, Your Honor. CareNet has requested to use Civic Center Park to hold their 2017 Walk for Life on Saturday, May 6th from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., including the use of Pavilion C. Staff and I recommend the council approve the requested use of the park and Pavilion C, subject to compliance with the council's policy on uniform insurance requirements for special events. And I would note that the group has also requested a waiver of fees.
Thank you. What's the wish of City Council?
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Corbett?
I move that the council grant use of Civic Center Park for the 2017 Walk for Life, including use of the pavilion facility, and I would include a waiver of fees on that.
Will the motion also be subject to the council policy on insurance?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Is there support for the motion?
Your Honor.
Mr. Bliss?
Support.
See, I'll state the motion first. Motion made by Councilman Corbett, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Bliss, to grant the use of Civic Center Park for the 2017 Walk for Life to CareNet, including use of the pavilion facility, including a fee waiver, subject to council's policy on uniform insurance. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Next communication, C2, is regarding the Lanphier Schools. Mr. Myers?
The Lanphier Schools have requested use of Civic Center Park to hold their Learning Ladder annual picnic on Thursday, June 8th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., including the use of Pavilions A and B. Staff and I recommend approval of the event, subject to council's policy on uniform insurance requirements for special events, and the group is also requesting a waiver of the fees.
Thank you. What's the wish of City Council?
Your Honor.
Mr. Bliss?
Sure. I move that we approve Lanphier Schools Learning Ladders use of Civic Center Park in Pavilions A and B on June 8th. It looks like from 5 to 9, in accordance with the uniform and insurance requirements for special events, as well as with a waiver of the pavilion and damage deposit fees.
Thank you, sir. Is there support?
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Gettings?
Support.
Thank you. See, a motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Bliss, seconded by Councilman Gettings to approve the use by Lanphier Schools of Civic Center Park for Learning Ladder Annual Picnic, including Pavilions A and B from 5 to 9 p.m., subject to council's policy on uniform insurance requirements, and also granting a waiver of the fees. Waiver of the, is that it? Just waiver of the fees, or?
It's for both cases, Your Honor. It's actually the pavilion rental fee and the damage deposit. In the case of Lanphier, because it's 2 pavilions, it's $100 for the rental and $100 for the damage deposit.
Okay, so a motion waiving the fees, I think, is good enough.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Any discussion on this item? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Skipping ahead, there's nothing under D, reports, E, future public hearings, F, bid awards, G, ordinances, or H, unfinished business. But we do have some minutes to adopt. Can I have a motion regarding the minutes of the special meeting from 1/23/17?
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Corbett?
So I move that the council approve as printed the special meeting minutes from January 23rd, 2017.
Thank you. Is there support?
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Soltis?
Support, please.
Thank you. Any discussion on this item? Okay, all in favor of adopting the minutes as printed from the special meeting of January 23rd signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Can I have a motion for the regular minutes?
Your Honor,
Mr. Bliss?
I move that we adopt the regular city council meeting minutes of January 23rd, 2017 with one amendment. Ordinance 2116, the vote on that incorrectly has me listed as a no vote. So I would like that change included in the adoption of the minutes.
Good. Is there support for the motion?
Your Honor?
Mr. Soltis?
Support again.
Any discussion on this item? Okay. Motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Bliss, seconded by Councilman Soltis, to adopt the minutes from the regular meeting minutes from January 23rd, 2017, with one amendment regarding item 21-16 to reflect the Mayor Pro Tem's vote as a yes vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Next, we'll go on to appointments for our boards and commissions. We have several willing candidates, so let's march through them first. Can I have nominations to the Historical Commission? It looks like there's 3 that are willing.
Mr. Mayor? I move to reappoint Rita Dickel, Joy Davids, and Flora Ferries to the Historical Commission for 3-year terms, which will be expiring on February the 28th, 2020.
Thank you. Is there support? Is there a second?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Gettings?
second.
Thank you. Any discussion on these nominations? Okay, all in favor of appointing Rita Dickel, Joy Davids, and Flora Ferries to the Historical Commission for a term to expire in February 2020, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, say no. It carries. They're all appointed. Can I have a nomination for Tax Board of Review, please?
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Corbett?
I move to reappoint John Woolsey to the Tax Board of Review to a 2-year term, which will be expiring in January of 2019.
Thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor,
Mr. Bliss?
support.
Any discussion? All in favor of appointing John Woosley to the Tax Board of Review for a term to expire in January 2019 signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed say no. It carries. He's appointed. How about the ZBA? Any nominations?
Your Honor,
Mr. Bliss?
I move that we reappoint Linda Corbett to the Zoning Board of Appeals with a term that would expire in February of 2020.
Thank you. Is there support?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Gettings?
support.
Guessing
Mayor,
Mr. Corbett.
Without showing any disrespect to the chairman of the ZBA, I would ask to be called as an abstention on the vote.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
I would
sir.
recommend that we do a roll call vote.
Thank you. The recommendation is for a roll call vote. We'll do that. Any other discussion? Okay, so I'm going to ask for a roll call vote, and the question is whether to appoint Linda Corbett to a 3-year term on the Zoning Board of Appeals to expire in February 2020. Yes is to appoint, no is not to appoint, and abstain.
Means nothing.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Soltis.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Bliss.
Yes.
Councilman Clark.
Yes.
Councilman Corbett.
Abstain on the vote.
Councilman Gettings.
Yes.
And Mayor Hartwell.
I vote yes. It carries. She's nominated, or appointed, thank you. All right, we have some applicants to fill vacant seats, and I think let's see, there's a mayor's appointment to the Crime Commission, so I nominate applicant Ronald Butcher to let's see, it'll be a full term on the Crime Commission. Do they both expire at the same date?
Yes.
Okay, so I nominate Ron Butcher to the Crime Commission for the first full seat. It'll expire in September 2019 to Crime Commission. Will someone accept that nomination?
Your Honor,
Mr. Bliss?
I move that we confirm the mayor's appointment of Ron Butcher to the Crime Commission. Term expires 9/12/2019.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah?
I support.
Thank you. Any discussion? Let's see. All in favor of confirming the mayor's appointment of Ron Butcher to fill the full seat on the Crime Commission expiring September 2019, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, say no. It carries. He's appointed. We have an applicant. Okay, there's more mayor's appointments. Let's see. For Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, there's 2 applicants. I nominate Ronald Butcher to the alternate seat on the Parks and Rec Board expiring April 2018. And I also nominate Jeremy Carroll to the alternate seat expiring April 2017. Will someone accept that?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Is there support?
Your Honor,
Mr. Bliss?
support.
All right, I'll restate that. So, motion is made by Councilman Gettings, supported by Mayor Pro Tem Bliss, to appoint Ron Butcher to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board on an alternate seat to expire April 2018. And secondly, to appoint Jeremy Carroll to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board on an alternate seat expiring April 2017. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, say no. It carries. They're both appointed. And then there is an applicant to the Historical Commission. Does anyone have that application in front of them? It's not a mayor's appointment. The applicant's name is Donna Dowling.
Could you spell that, Your Honor?
Donna, and last name's Dallling, and she applied January 25th.
Your
It'd be
Honor?
a seat on a Historical Commission expiring February 2018.
Your Honor,
Mr. Corbett?
I would move to appoint Donna Dowling to the vacant term on the Historic Commission. This partial term expires February 22nd, 2018.
Thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor?
Mr. Soltis?
Support.
Any discussion? Okay. All in favor of appointing Donna Dowling to a seat on the Historical Commission, a full seat to expire February 2018, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, say no. It carries, and she's appointed. I don't see any other applicants or nominations that we need to take up. Does council have any others? Okay, hearing none. Before we adjourn the meeting, there's no executive session, so I invite any closing comments from city council members, and we'll begin. Mr. Corbett?
Just 2 quick items. Just a reminder that we maintain office hours at the library on Fridays from 1 to 3. If anybody would like to stop in, question or concern, we'd be happy to talk with them at that time. Just we're usually in the first conference room right off from the main desk. So feel free to stop in at any time. And happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Oh, and speedy recovery to Councilwoman Scott. I know she was working 6-8 hours after the surgery, so yeah, tougher than me. So hurry back. That's all, sir.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Bliss?
Yes, Your Honor. I echo the sentiments on Councilwoman Scott. I hope she's back here as soon as possible. And I'd also like to remind everybody, as we're appointing all of these board seats, I just wanted to remind our youth that they should apply for our mock council if they haven't done so already. If you know any high school students in our local high schools, be sure to point them in the direction of applying for our internship program. Deadline is fast approaching, so make sure that you fill it out. It's a quick survey online. It takes about 5 minutes for you to apply, and it's a great experience for anybody who's looking to see what it looks like behind this table. That's it, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Gettings?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Just wish Councilman Scott a quick recovery. Hopefully everything went well for her. We miss her, but take time, Margene, to get well before you come back. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thanks. City Attorney, Mr. Sherman?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. All the best to Margene and Jack. Speedy recovery. Get back here soon. I also want to mention I'm been called from the bullpen to relieve Larry. Today's his birthday. It's also my daughter's birthday. They were born on the same day, so I wish them both happy birthday.
Thank you. City Manager, Mr. Myers?
Echo the comments regarding Councilwoman Scott, and best wishes to her and Jack for a speedy recovery. And that's it, Your Honor.
Thanks. City Clerk, Ms. Prince?
No comments this evening, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Clark?
Just one thing, people that want a nice evening on Wednesdays, there's 2 more coffee concerts left. It'll be this Wednesday for $5. You get 2 hours of entertainment, and believe me, it's worth the money at the Senior Center. That's all.
Great, thank you. Mr. Soltis?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Great, thank you. Yeah, I hope Councilwoman Margene Scott feels better soon, and I know she's going to feel like a new woman, and that's no joke. So I look forward to the energy she brings when she comes back. You know, one of my duties but privileges as mayor is I get to attend events around the city, and this time of year is the Chinese New Year. It was capped off with the Lantern Festival over the weekend, and you know, Madison Heights is, I think, blessed for some of our cultural roots. You know, over the decades, my grandparents were Canadians. We have a lot of Polish and Irish and German immigrants. But you know, when I was growing up, it was a lot of Iraqi, Lebanese, and Romanian immigrants. And today, you know, I think big parts of our community are represented by Chinese immigrants, Mexican immigrants, certainly Chaldeans, and Muslims from the Middle East. And it's so special that Madison Heights is home to the Chinese Cultural Center, and it's open to the public. It's a community center for family events, for athletics, and it's where the old Chi-Chi's restaurant was, if you remember that, over by Barrington, I think is the road, up by 14, across the street from Bob Evans and Micro Center. So I'm going to butcher this, and I'm sure my inflection is totally off, but I'll say Happy New Year with Guan Nian Hao, and I'll wish you best of luck and prosperity, which is Da Chi Da Li. So if I just swore in Chinese, I'm sorry, but I tried my best. So is there any further business before City Council? Okay, hearing none, the meeting is adjourned.
We wouldn't know if we butchered it.
February 13th?
Mandarin, yeah, that was Mandarin. Thank you. I said that, like, on a microphone to like big, like 300 Chinese people, as soon as I got off the stage, like,